to the Integrity for Nonviolence program. My name is Sister Sheila Kinsey, and I am the coordinator of the Integrity for Nonviolence program. We have been working in Kenya, helping the community there and the youth deal with organic farming. For the past 2 years then, we have been integrating the skills for sustainable agriculture along with those of nonviolence, having the chance to see that personal, social, and environmental care for the land and for the animals is interconnected. Because we know that violence and unemployment and poverty are interconnected. In Kenya, there have been a number of demonstrations due to unemployment, particularly with the youth ages 15 to 24. It's been 60% of these young people, as stated, for 2025. As a result, there has been destruction to land, permanent damage to persons, and even deaths. So we're inviting Brother Benard Isanda, a Marion Hill missionary, who is the coordinator of Justice, Peace, Development, and Care for the Integrity of Creation, a project of the Gitangano Negabagiji project, which is for self-help. For the past 10 years, he has been listening to the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor, and really trying to find out ways to be active, involved in dealing with the young people. I have been fortunate to work with him for the last 2 years. So welcome, Brother Benard. We are eager to hear what you have to share with us.
Thanks so much, Sister. As I said once more, my work in Kenya involves identifying the principles of integrity for nonviolence, where these principles could apply, the selection and the training of the implementers of these principles, and also carrying out the actual principle of implementation. That is majorly what I am involved in this work of nonviolence in Kenya.
That's incredible work. Really an idea of a system change to really engage others in many fields to help you work in this important area of nonviolence and dealing with agriculture. So thank you for that work.
Most welcome.
So how has nonviolence helped you in the work?
Firstly, as I work in this nonviolence, my knowledge has expanded around the understanding of the principles of integrity of nonviolence. That is justice, wholesome relationships, honesty, and respect. At the same time, I have also been able to train 40 facilitators on these principles so that they help me in giving workshops around these principles. Out of this work of nonviolence, I've also been able to reach out to over 30 affected schools, both primary as well as secondary schools, and as well as 4 settlements by giving workshops covering close to 30,000 people whose attitude on nonviolence up to the present moment is positive.
You certainly have been a man on fire and engaging a very vital community, because no one can do this alone. But being able to involve facilitators and students, schools and settlements to be engaged, and they themselves have come on fire. So this is an amazing accomplishment.
Exactly. I appreciate that. It's because of the passion that is in me on the integrity of nonviolence. And as a missionary, this is part of the mission that I am involved in. So it gives me the energy to carry on.
So let's look at one particular group that you've been actively involved with. How about the students? What's happened with them, with your
Yeah.
sense of well-being and carrying the mission forward as a missionary, for goodness sakes?
Yeah, I have been involved with the students, both primary and secondary, as I've indicated, and in huge numbers, whereby some of the schools could be having up to 4,000 students. And I have been able to carry out works of nonviolence with them. And it has been a great impact on these students. One way that these students have been impacted is that by being challenged by the principle of respect and the purpose of humanity, they have minimized the situations of gossip, which is abuse, and they have embraced the facts, because sometimes they have been gossiping, carrying out the story which they do not have the facts and sometimes not true. Then through open communication with these students, they have been able to share with the parents, and they have become aware that sometimes the violence which happens in the family is as a result of the students. So the students have seen that, we thought that we are not involved in violence. So the realization that they are a part of violence made these students to apologize to their parents and also to ask for forgiveness. And they promised also to be respectful to their parents and become less wasteful. Then on the other side also, as I was carrying out the workshop with the facilitators, we were able to create a non-threatening environment. Or rather, to put it in another way, we were able to provide an environment that would assure confidentiality among the students. And by doing that, the students were able to open up and share some of the experiences and the challenges that they go through, especially from the family level, including sexual abuse, poverty, and the various kinds of violences which they have been experiencing, and how to address such issues. Now, in the process, the students were able to be encouraged to embrace services like counseling or visiting the counseling departments so that they can help them to address these issues of violence which they experience. And also in the program or in the workshops, we were able to share about environment. And through the knowledge about the environment, the students were inspired and they were able to plant trees, they were able to plant vegetables, they were able to keep animals like goats, and they cared for them. This is a sign of responsibility. This is a sign of accountability, and this is a stem from the workshop that was given under justice.
How fortunate for the young people and for their parents to be in a safe environment, to be able to talk about issues that are important to them in a way that is practical and courageous. And I understand that they had memorandums of understanding. So the talk didn't end there. It was able to go on and realize that everything is interconnected. So they had the experience of caring for one another, caring for the land, caring for the animals. And in this positive way, it helped them to move forward in a way that really matters to them. So what a team spirit. Thank you to you, to your facilitators, and anyone who supported this endeavor. It was a real team spirit.
Oh, thanks so much again for that question. Because when I was carrying out this program, we were carrying it inside the community. And therefore, the community was involved. And the community also, we gave them a workshop on the principles of integrity for nonviolence. And they embraced those principles. And after embracing those principles, the community was able to mobilize other people so that they participate in the training, which led to the expansion of the training from one community to other communities. So we expanded in that dimension. Then the community was able to participate in mobilizing financial and non-financial resources for the sustainable use of the land. And they used this land in planting vegetables. And also this was able to address food insecurity, address the high rate of unemployment also within the community, and at the same time, generate some income. And also, when I was carrying out this program, I involved the facilitators and the ongoing workshops and the concern on the way forward by the majority who are broken, depressed, poor, desperate, lonely, and unemployed humanity awakened hope in the dehumanized people in the community. So really, I can say that the community has really been touched so much, and they have been involved, and the expansion of it is a great sign that there is a need for such a program.
Well, your management of dealing with principles and getting it down to the grassroots and then moving from the grassroots up to areas out of which you're trying to make change. For example, when there were demonstrations, your students, you participated in a very peaceful way so that you were able to integrate with them the personal and the social and the care of the land in a way that was understandable, and that you were able to see, obviously, there were results, for the community. Incredible. Incredible.
Exactly.
So, is there anything else that you would like to say, giving you the opportunity to do this?
Yes, I could say that looking at myself, where I am currently, I'm working in South Africa. But now the work of nonviolence in Kenya, experience has really enabled me to replicate the experience of Kenya in South Africa, whereby in the past 6 months, I've been able to give workshops to more than 300 people on gender-based violence. There is a high rate of gender-based violence in South Africa, whereby they say that on a daily basis, there are almost 15 women who are being killed because of gender-based violence. At the same time, within the 6 months, I've been able to offer training to 250 youths in the intake of 3 months who have graduated in carpentry, organic farming, and user computing and life orientation in order to reduce the high rate of unemployment among these young people in South Africa. And currently, as I speak, we have been able to offer employment to 146 young people, and they are working in organic farming. We have more than 20 hectares, whereby they are working in planting vegetables. And as they work there, they do get a stipend on a monthly basis, which has enabled them to improve their livelihoods. So I think this example or work of nonviolence in Kenya is moving to South Africa in a slow but sure way. And I really like this experience because it's that integration within me that has made me to move and implement it here in South Africa. And I see that it can be implemented in another place because looking across African countries, they have the highest rate of the young people. They have the highest rate of unemployment. And it is up to us to apply this experience of nonviolence and look at how can we, in practical and simple ways, address all of these challenges by giving skills as I am doing in South Africa and as we are doing in Kenya.
Thank you so much for such an inspiring story, a story out of which you're engaging others to think maybe that I can do it, because you talked about simple things and you gave the mega vision that you have to move forward, and you know that it can be done. Certainly, the integrity for nonviolence, the integrity of your heart, really uniting the values of nonviolence in action for the sake of the world, for Africa. And you are sharing that vision that is so needed and is possible for more in Africa, as well as those who are listening to this session. So on behalf of those who have been affected by your good work, thank you, Brother Benard, for this wonderful grace-filled time.
Most grateful, and thanks to you too as well for the great collaboration and the great spirit.
We're good partners.